what are your rights as a consumer when a business goes under? John Fish is a PWC partner and joins us this morning. John, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
Obviously we've had a couple of high-profile ones just in the last few days even, but loads in the last year. What's driving this? Is people having cash flow problems? What's behind it?
Yeah, look, there's many reasons. You could actually turn the clock right back to COVID and the big sugar rush that the country got during that time. And it actually kept a lot of businesses going that actually weren't viable. And those statistics that you mentioned about liquidations and receiverships, they went down significantly between about 2020 and 2023, and they've started growing since then. So I think there's a lot of catch-up that's being done. There's a lot of businesses that have got a lot of debt. They've been able to not pay places like inland revenue. Inland revenue debt has gone from about $4 billion overdue debt before COVID to about $9.5 billion now. So there's a lot of debt out there, and there hasn't been a lot of action being taken. So there's a lot of what I said was kicking the can down the road over COVID, which we're now catching up to the can.
They sort of had it coming. Well, it was going to happen, and it's just been delayed.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of a lack of confidence at the moment as well, which doesn't help.
And the interest rates, right, which are coming down, but that takes time.
Yeah.
What about if you're somebody who's bought one of these kitchens, for example, from Kitchen Things, what are your rights? Where do you sit in the pecking order? You mentioned IRDs, debts ballooning. Where are you?
Well, with all these sort of things, it depends. So one of the key things here is the terms of the contract that you entered into, and when does title pass to you as the consumer or as the purchaser. So if you've paid a deposit, the chances are that you'll be an unsecured creditor, and then your rights on the waterfall of priorities. You have the secured creditors, the preferential creditors, which is IRD and employees, and then you have unsecured creditors. So you're right down the pecking order if you've just, say, paid a deposit and there's goods that haven't arrived yet or something like that. Situation's a little bit different if you've paid 100% of the purchase price and your goods are sitting in a warehouse with your name on them. In that case, you actually might be able to go in and pick those goods up.
Right.
And so that when a receiver or a liquidator is appointed, one of the first things they do is a massive stock take and try and get all the information that they can, and then they rely on the people that have entered into those transactions to provide their information about what the contract is as well. So there's an awful lot of work that has to go into actually determining where you sit in that pecking order.
Given, we've just heard that we're expected to see more liquidations in the coming year, well, more than we did in the previous, are there any, if you're a consumer watching this morning and you're about to go out and buy a new kitchen, or you're about to renovate your house, or you're making a big purchase, are there any industries you'd be particularly wary of at the moment?
I think you should always trust but verify is what I'd say with these sort of things. Be cautious. I think you need to put it in perspective in terms of what are you prepared to lose. So if it's a major transaction for yourself and you can't afford to lose, say, a deposit that you're going to put on something, then think very carefully about what you're doing and look at alternative ways to do it. I mean, the best option is frankly cash on delivery. That's the least risk, right? But then if you're ordering something, let's say something's being manufactured specially for you, you're probably going to have to pay a deposit. But look at other ways that you could perhaps protect yourself. So, for example, if you're in a construction contract, I would say pay a deposit that's equivalent to the goods that are being delivered to your site and pay it at that time. So at least you've got something. If the construction company fails, you've at least got something there that represents the money you put in.
Rather than just a random figure they've plucked out of nowhere.
Exactly.
Hey John, nice to have you in the studio this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is John Fish, PWC partner on liquidations.